So I've ordered a bunch of these medical batteries, and now I'm going to show you how to balance them so they're ready for your use. You can't just take one and stick it into your system. You want to balance them. And so I'll show you soon. Well, now I've got my fresh load of new batteries coming in, and these are LFP medical batteries. I will open them up here and see what I got. Usually these have a little bit of charge on them, and the green light will be blinking, and sometimes it'll be blinking red, like a really fast red blink, because it's basically completely drained. They're shipped completely drained. So it's a 50-50 chance. This one's blinking green. One of these is blinking red earlier, but all these, the other ones, were blinking green. However, that just means it's in a very low state of charge. You don't want to store it that way because you might get dendrite formation. That's at least my understanding of the failure mode of LFP. Let's see if this one is green blinking or not. This one is not blinking at all, which means it's so drained that it's got no charge at all, possibly. So I'm going to test that. Yep. I'm kind of RAM boosting it a little bit. It's basically completely drained. So I'm going to give it a little bit of charge from this almost completely drained battery that's right next to it. Okay, now let's see what happens. It might start blinking intermittently, but it may also stay off. If this battery is bad or completely dead, then it might not be salvageable in this way. We shall see. I'm going to try to RAM boost it here from one of these other batteries. This tube essentially parallel short all these batteries together to balance them and give them equal voltage, which will mostly be an equal charge. Then when you later top them off by charging them and their balancing dissipation circuitry kick in, they will be essentially top balanced together. But you can't top balance them until you have somewhat balanced them beforehand, pre-balanced them. So this one, because it's completely dead, is essentially unbalanceable unless I RAM boost its charge a little bit. Just what I'm going to do here by connecting it to some other batteries. Now, you have to check when you do this to make sure that it doesn't get hot. Make sure none of the connections or wires that you're using get hot. Looks like I gave it enough charge with a RAM boost that it actually started blinking green. This is kind of a little bit hot here, so this must have been a high current passing through here. So I'm going to let this cool off a little bit. So this one is definitely gave enough juice to this one to bring it back to life. Now this is a, you have to kind of know what you're doing here. That's hopefully what I'm teaching you. These two I have tied together and connectorized, and with a Anderson 175 amp connector. And what this means is I can plug these into my lead acid battery. I have a 12 volt lead acid battery that I use for RAM boosting. And I'm now going to RAM boost these three batteries together. They are going to short circuit into each other. And you can check to make sure there's no over temperature going on, no super high temperatures. Check the cables. Everything seems good. These are going to equilibrate. I think these are safe to equilibrate this way. These are in unknown status right now. I got this one to blink from being completely dead, so that's good. But I suspect that it's got a lot of charge mismatch. I can tell this end is getting hot, but that may have just been from the fact that I had a high resistance contact there. When you have the resistance, it's dissipating power there, and it's going to get warm. Whereas here, these cables remain cold because I have kept them in a good contact. Okay, I'm now going to, I can start connecting up these various batteries. Note, you wouldn't normally do this kind of a thing with just free open cell batteries, but because these are medical batteries with sophisticated BMSs built into them already, which limit current and voltage imbalances and everything else, you can get away with this. Note, these two are already connected to this lead acid battery and have been equilibrating for some time. I'm now connecting the grounds and a couple more of these batteries. I'm not connecting the powers yet, so nothing will happen because I'm not connecting the power yet. Now I've created a tangled web of connectorized shorts, so I want to make sure there's nothing getting hot here. If there's anything, I'll get disconnected. So let's find out which ones are the hot ones. And those soon using FLIR. Okay, well, many of the connectors are hot. At least the terminals are, which is good. I mean, they should be. They should be charging, but I'm looking for anything that looks unusual. Like anything super hot. No. You know, these have advanced BMSs, so they should rescue themselves from super high currents. And I feel nothing. These are all connected together and connected to that lead acid battery. Possible if these are all now fully safely connected. This cable is getting a little warm, is it? Just gotta watch it for that one. Make sure it's not getting hot. These cables here, these are the finest gauge cables, so it's no surprise that these are, but they're not hot, they're just slightly warm. Those are actually all connected to the Centaur. So I flip the switch on the Centaur, this will activate charging. 60 amp charging. So these are all being charged now by the Centaur. They should not overcharge because they all have their own BMSs. They're all blinking green. And I don't see any particular wire getting super hot. So that means that might be it. It may be ready. I could top these off, or I could just let them balance each other. So let it top itself off. And the reason for it, these are all going to be in some partial state of charge. And I want them to all equilibrate and become the same state of charge. I do have a few extra cables unused. Okay, and I'm going to do one last check. Even though I checked with a FLIR, I'm just going to touch cables to make sure there's nothing hot here. It all looks good. That means I can leave this. I will leave this running, thermalizing for at least a day. At which point, these will be somewhat balanced. They may be mostly drained, so they may be pseudo bottom balanced, but then I can charge them up. And then once I have charged them up, they are good to go to be put into serial. Do not connect batteries together unless you have balanced them together like this first. Otherwise, one of them might be at 12 volts and another might be at 11 volts. And then as you charge them up to 24 volts combined, well, one of them will max out first before the other. So you don't want that. One more last check here with the FLIR. Those are the refrigerators. There's nothing special. Just when I'm looking for hot wires and hot terminals. I mean, the terminals are all warm, but that's okay because they're passing current, balancing each other. But I don't see anything unusually hot. These are like 95 degrees there. 97 degrees there at the hottest points. This one might be a little hotter, 98. but nothing super hot. If you don't have a FLIR, you can use a voltmeter. Kind of a budget voltmeter that's high quality. These can't all be very different from each other because there would be large gradients in the wires and very large currents. But you can see here. They're all roughly similar voltages. You'll notice that if I measure this, 13.05, and I measure this one, 13.11. So these batteries are a somewhat higher voltage than those batteries, and we can disconnect these from each other too to see what differences there are between these. 13.13 versus 13.09. So this one was like kind of higher charge than the others, but it doesn't matter. We're just gonna connect them all together. So that was kind of like an odd high one. This is connecting this battery to the charger and the iron and the lead acid. Now I'm going to leave it disconnected from the lead acid and have only the lithium iron phosphate medical batteries connected to each other. They're all connected together essentially in parallel. I've got disconnect points and a couple minor weak points where the wires are thinner. Nevertheless, because I'm not actively charging or discharging the bank, I'm just going to let it all just sit for a long time. It'll equilibrate. After it's been equilibrated, then I will do other things, but I will not leave it connected to the lead acid and the charger intentionally, because it's a different chemistry, etc., and I'm trying to equilibrate these together.